Welcome to Science of Strange.
Have you ever been absolutely certain you were alone, yet felt someone moving nearby? Why does your brain recognize footsteps faster than voices? And why does silence make that feeling impossible to ignore? You are alone in your house. It is quiet. And then you hear it, footsteps, a slow, rhythmic sound from another room, or perhaps the floor above. You know no one is there, but your brain insists you are not alone. This isn't a story about ghosts. This is a story about your brain's ancient survival programming, a system designed to protect you, even when there's nothing there at all. The human brain is a prediction machine, and for millennia it has been programmed to detect one sound above almost all others: the sound of approaching footsteps. This is not a conscious process. It is a primal reflex, etched into the oldest parts of our neural architecture. Your auditory cortex identifies the pattern. Your motor cortex simulates the movement. Your threat detection system activates. This all happens in milliseconds, before you have even had the chance to think, "I hear something." Your body is already on high alert, reacting to a sound that evolution taught it to fear. The reaction is involuntary. But what happens when the sound isn't actually there? True silence is something the brain does not tolerate. In the absence of external auditory input, your brain will begin to create its own. This process is called auditory pareidolia. It's the brain's attempt to find a signal in the noise, or in this case, to create a signal where there is only a void. It is not imagination, it is a biological function. The brain takes fragments of ambient noise, the hum of a refrigerator, the creak of a floorboard, and fills in the missing information with patterns it expects to hear. Patterns like footsteps. It isn't trying to scare you, it is simply trying to make sense of an environment it perceives as incomplete. Not all sounds are processed equally. Neuroscience has shown that the amygdala, the brain's fear center, reacts faster to certain non-vocal sounds than it does to human speech. Footsteps are one of these sounds. A voice might signal communication, a request, or a warning. But footsteps signal something more fundamental: presence and approach. This is why phantom footsteps feel so uniquely threatening. The sound bypasses the parts of your brain responsible for complex language and goes straight to the core of your fear response. Your brain doesn't interpret the sound as a person. It interprets it as a potential predator. This effect is amplified at night. In darkness, your other senses are diminished. Your brain compensates by heightening its auditory sensitivity. Every subtle sound becomes more pronounced. Fatigue and stress also play a critical role. When your prefrontal cortex, the logical, rational part of your brain, is tired, it has less control. The brain begins to rely more on predictive models and less on real-time sensory data. It defaults to its ancient programming. In the dark, your brain is not looking for logical explanations. It is listening for threats it has been trained to expect for hundreds of thousands of years. Your brain is a vast archive of sensory data. Every sound you have ever heard is stored, in some form, within its neural networks. When the brain generates phantom sounds, it doesn't create them from nothing. It reconstructs them from memory. The footsteps you hear in an empty house may be an echo of footsteps you heard earlier in the day, or even years ago. Your brain takes this old audio file, strips it of its original context, and plays it back as a present tense event. It is a memory repurposed as a warning, a ghost made of recycled data. Most people who report hearing phantom footsteps don't describe a clear, distinct sound. Instead, they describe a feeling, a sense of presence. This is because the brain is not just hearing a sound, it is predicting a rhythm. It anticipates the next footfall before it happens. This predictive process creates a powerful illusion of a physical body moving through space. You don't just hear the footsteps, you feel the weight, the cadence, the intention behind them. The sound is just a trigger for a much more complex and disturbing sensory simulation. From an evolutionary perspective, this system makes perfect sense. Consider two of our early ancestors resting in a cave. One hears a faint rustling and assumes it's the wind. The other hears the same sound and assumes it's a predator. The first ancestor might be right most of the time. But if they are wrong just once, they do not pass on their genes. The second ancestor, the one who is prone to false alarms, is the one who survives. Evolution did not select for accuracy, it selected for survival. Your brain is the descendant of countless generations of paranoid ancestors. It would rather you be scared and wrong than calm and dead. Even with our modern understanding of the brain, this system cannot be consciously disabled. You cannot tell your amygdala to stop reacting. You cannot command your auditory cortex to stop filling in the silence. This reflex operates outside of your control, running automatically in the background of your consciousness. Knowing that the sound isn't real does not stop the fear. The ancient wiring is too deep, too fundamental to our design. It remains active, even when you are certain you are alone. The fear feels real because, to your brain, it is real. The emotional response precedes the logical one. By the time your rational mind has concluded that the house is empty, your body has already been flooded with adrenaline. Your heart is already pounding. Your muscles are already tense. Logic arrives too late to stop the initial wave of panic. It can only help you manage the aftermath. Your brain does not ask for permission to be afraid. It simply is. And here is the most unsettling part. This experience is not a sign of a disorder. It is not a symptom of a failing mind. It is the sign of a healthy brain, operating exactly as it was designed to. The footsteps you hear when you are alone are a ghost in your own machine. A feature, not a bug. A normal, predictable function of the human nervous system. And that, perhaps, is the strangest thing of all. Because the most powerful illusions aren't created by the world around you. They are created by the brain inside your head. And sometimes, the strange feeling you can explain is simply your mind doing exactly what it evolved to do.